Hello everyone, good evening. This is the Mumbler kitchen and I'm joined by Catherine Jeames, who is the family nutrition expert.
Hi.
We're a little bit late because Catherine got a little bit lost and not here, so I just had to leg it down the road to go and wave at her. But she's here now, and we're going to be talking about all things nutrition. I thought I'd just quickly explain why I came to Catherine to do this live Q&A this evening. It's because basically we're going to do a couple of live videos, not with Catherine, but there's going to be one with the infant feeding team at the NNN and one with Jo from Baby-Led Kitchen, who's just launched an app. So I thought a nice food theme at the moment on Mumbler, and obviously I've heard of Catherine before and the family nutrition expert, so I thought it'd be a good chance for parents to ask questions and find out more about all those good things that you can be feeding your children and your family. So lots of people have sent in questions, but I thought
That's great.
I'd find out first why you wanted to be a nutrition expert. What made you choose this path?
Well, I've been doing this now, so I qualified when I was pregnant with my first. So I have two children, they're 10 and 8, so I'm a busy working mum. And so when I went into nutrition, it was really to help my own health problems. I had problems, I had an inflammatory bowel disease in my late 20s, had a very busy, stressful life, and I just really wanted to look for a career that had more meaning for me and that would help with my own health. And also, you know, I saw a nutritional therapist when I was suffering with an inflammatory bowel disease and really, really helped me. And thankfully I don't have that condition anymore, which is really good. So and I've always been really interested in food, and I ate really well as a child. I do remember having arguments with my mum about why do I always have to have brown bread and can't have fizzy drinks, but I'm really thankful to her now, and she taught me to cook, and she really gave me an interest in food, and that's really, I guess, sparked my passion. And that's one of my things I really am very passionate about: mums and grandparents passing on their and dads, passing on their skills. You know, my husband's a great cook as well, and cooks often as well. You know, so I think good family food can be simple and it can be quick, and you know that's a really important message as well, I think.
Oh, okay. So something you're very passionate about, which I
Definitely,
think is always rubs off on people, doesn't it? If you're passionate about it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Should we start with some of the questions that people have sent in?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got some snacks questions.
Yes.
So a few people wanted to know about healthy and filling snacks for when you're on the go. So things like I get a little bit sucked into those things in Tesco, you know, the like the fruity roll-up things that say they're pure fruit.
Yes.
I did used to buy the yogurt covered raisins.
Which saw my post.
And I saw your post. Because you should assume it's yogurt and it's raisins. It must be brilliant. And then when we looked at the back, we were like, oh, this is horrifying. So I do look a bit more carefully at packaging, especially for the girls. But it is really tempting to buy packet snacks when you're out and about. So is there anything that you can give or anything you can think of that would be good, healthy and filling for on the go?
Yeah, so a couple of tips on snacks, and then I can mention a couple of brands which I think are good and things that I've seen. Obviously, there's new stuff coming out all the time, but you know, really important is to try to give your kids slow-releasing snacks. If you give them quite sugary things, and even just fruit sugar, so those fruit wheels, they are just fruit sugar. So you're going to get, your children are going to have a really fast release of energy, which is fine. They're going to do some quite high intense activity, but even then, something more slow releasing is better, because what you'll find, particularly with toddlers and young children, is if you give them that real spike of blood sugar, they're going to have a big crash, and it's when they have the big crash that they're more likely then to have tantrums. And I definitely know with my children when they were younger, but even now at 10 and 8, I know when they've had too much sugar. My son gets emotional, my daughter gets you know, and argumentative. You know, she can be argumentative anyway, but you know, even worse. And it just seems like she's a tween now, so they kind of lack that sort of rationality. So you always want to look for things that are slow releasing are a little bit of protein and a little bit of kind of more the whole grains rather than the fast releasing stuff. So if you're giving fruit, that's fine, but look at the kind of slower releasing fruits like apples and pears and berries. So those can be packed up in a snack. Also, if you are giving nuts to your kids, then and you know they're not in a place where they're not allowed to take nuts. Nuts are quite good, and children can have nuts quite young as long as you know you're not concerned about.
I think
nut
a lot of
allergies.
schools have had to just say no.
Yes, exactly.
My
Exactly.
in school has said no nuts,
exactly.
which is absolutely fine. But you know, I do realise that nuts are a good slow.
Yes, exactly. So when you're at home and when you're out and about, but there's lots of nice little brands. So looking for things that, you know, if you think about 5 grams of sugar is about a teaspoon, so you definitely want to be having a snack that's under that. So raisins, I would say like a teaspoon of raisins fine. We don't need them yogurt coated with sugar in, you know, and a teaspoon of raisins is fine, but just maybe just pack that up in a Tupperware, perhaps where you could put a few cubes of cheese in, or kind of, you know, a little bit of fresh fruit. Or like looking at things like, there's a nice brand called Pulsin. They've got some really nice like little snack bars for kids that have got like oats, so more oaty based, but again, just watch how much treacle and you know golden syrup goes in there and things like that. Little cubes of cheese are quite good, little bits of ham, but they're not going to those kind of lunchable type things because they're really high in salt. So it's just, it is quite tricky finding something. Maybe vegetable sticks and hummus, if you can pack that up, or just packing up a little pack of like vegetable sticks with, I don't know, a little bit of chicken breast or something like that would be quite nice.
Yeah, because one of the other questions was about snacks for primary age. She's been told to lay off fruit due to enamel damage.
Right.
So I suppose things like cheese and carrot sticks and hummus would
be exactly. And often they're talking about dried fruit for teeth, but with the enamel damage, not having too much. So really, in an ideal world, when we say 5 a day, that should not really be all fruit. That should be more vegetables. And 5 a day is really a minimum, not a target. So we should be looking at maybe
so
2.
Hard.
I know. The Australian model is 5 + 2, which is great. So 5 veg, 2 fruit.
Okay.
So that is ideal, what we should be trying to aim at, rather than getting lots and lots.
Because my two they are happy to snack on fruit.
Yeah.
But then this person asking about laying off fruit due to enamel damage did make me think, oh, actually, is this something I'm going to need to consider? Because they will eat apples and pears and bananas and raisins. They will. They have, but when you give them broccoli or you give them
it's hard, isn't it?
Beans.
And I think we often wean our kids with fruit, don't we? You know, and the fruits.
You're just happy they're eating. Like my first child, she ate everything and was happy. Whatever I made loads of homemade stuff, and she was just like this. And I thought it was all down to my excellent parenting.
I'm sure a lot of it was.
Second came along, and she's just not that bothered about food. So whatever she's eating, I'm just happy. Like she ate a tuna wrap for lunch today. I was like, oh my goodness, she ate lunch. So I was just pleased that she was eating something. Or the tuna was not too bad. So a lot of the time, you're just pleased that your child's eating. So I suppose
think all children are different, and I definitely had that with my two. And I remember when they're younger, and even now, they're so different in how they eat. They are so different. And of course, eating fruit actually is much better than eating a bag of sweets or something like that. I think it's just try to get selection. I think the thing is, if you have a child that's quite fussy, is to not, don't think, oh, they won't eat that, so they never will eat it. So kind of, if you just get them so used to, there's always going to be some vegetables on your plate when you're snacking, whether you eat it or not. Just pack it up and give it, have it later yourself.
Is that one of the keys, is to not force them to eat it on a plate? Like, you still give it to them, even though you're going to throw it in the bin.
Exactly. Or just, if you're going to cut up carrots or something like that, you can always kind of keep those for the child that will eat it, next day, or put in your own lunch. We have a little friend here.
Joined by the cat. Not allowed on the table.
So I think the thing is, with children with fussy eating, the thing is, and I know it's really hard, because as a parent, fundamentally, don't we want our kids to eat, particularly when they're little? That's a really big concern. But what you really want to try is to take the emotion out of food, so that children very quickly learn that they can work their magic around mummy and daddy. Around
you're their
food.
ultimate toy. I remember my friend saying that you're the ultimate toy. They like the things that flash and make noise, and you are the ultimate one. You will
exactly, and particularly around food. So it's trying to get them to listen to their own cues, rather than, oh, if I eat this I get a dessert, or if I eat this I get a tick on my chart, or if I eat this, so I think it's difficult, because there's a really hard balance, and there is no simplicity, and there might be parents out there thinking, oh my god, but that's so difficult, but it is. So if you and even actually celebrating the wins, there is some thought that we shouldn't be like, yay, that's amazing, because then you're then they think, oh, if I eat that, I'll get that, you know. So actually, if you want to go do that, just leave them and just go walk in the other room and have a little happy dance and then go back, you know, and just make it as normal as anything, you know. And sometimes you might find that then they just carry on eating that thing, you know. But just always having healthy food around, always having, you know, putting stuff on the plate or having it on the table. I know that means a bit of extra work, a little bit more food wastage, but you know, if you get them used to having healthy stuff around, I think it's really, really
important. And is it also a bit about you eating that stuff too? Like I always used to tell parents about reading, like if your child sees you read, they're more likely to want to do themselves. So it's the same with like healthy food.
So when you start weaning your children, you have got to model good behaviour, and you can't obviously expect them to eat vegetables if you're not, you know, like you've got to have the same food as much as you possibly can. And eating vegetables, generally vegetable eaters live longer. So it's a good thing to do when you have kids, to start trying
veg. Say hello to a few people who've joined us and who are saying hello. I love that the first person was my mum. Hi, Mum. Hi, Susie as well. Hello.
Hi,
just to say, if you do have any questions as we go along for Catherine, do write them in and we'll try to get through them. We're not going to be very long. This isn't going to be like an hour long or anything, because I can hear my baby, well, I say baby, she's 20 months old, upstairs crying, so Daddy's obviously not doing very well, but we'll go for a bit longer.
I don't know if anyone wants to send you any questions that you could always send my way afterwards. I'm very happy to post them back.
Okay. Or you if we don't get through these as well, then we'll see. Okay, so covers snacks. Someone sent in a message about foods to promote heart health for their little one who has a congenital heart defect. She said avocado brownies were a big hit recently. Is there anything else like that you can think specifically heart health wise?
So it's difficult obviously to comment on an individual case because I don't know exactly what the problem is, so always listen to your specialist advisor, your paediatrician, dietitian, doctor, but generally in general for heart health we're looking for foods which are nice and anti-inflammatory, so that's things that are quite rich in omega-3. So avocado, very interesting because it's high in those good fats. So oily fish, also good. You've got to watch out if you're using smoked oily fish, how much salt is in that oily fish. That's another thing to bear in mind. You get nice tinned mackerel or fresh mackerel, you've got to watch the bones in the fresh mackerel. So it's difficult, but getting some oily fish and salmon and things like that is quite good. Nice seeds like flaxseed and chia seed, and lots of vegetables, because what you want to do with a heart problem is you want to get lots of antioxidants in the body. So that rainbow of fruit and vegetables is really important.
Okay, so is there anything you can think of other than avocado brownies that you could? Because I'm thinking this is, if she's mentioned avocado brownies, this is kind of like
a
ninja.
Yes.
I like to call myself the veg ninja, because I try to put it in everything.
So I've got a recipe for broccoli muffins that works quite well, so you can have a look on my blog for those. So hiding stuff in is really good. So I think with vegetables you've got to get kind of hiding stuff in, as well as actually getting them used to having healthy stuff around as well.
Okay. So going along the children line, sleep. Anything to help encourage sleep for a 14-month-old, still waking twice a night for a bottle.
Bless. So I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because there can be many reasons why that child is struggling to sleep. So one of the things that will wake us up is hunger. So if that child's going through a growth spurt, maybe getting a little bit more snacking in, or a good substantial meal, and making sure that meal in the evening has got good levels of protein in it and good levels of slow releasing carbs. So avoiding chocolate and anything like that at night time, anything too sweet.
With something before bed, like a supper type thing.
Yeah, that might be helpful as well. So it might be like you want to look for some slow releasing carbs and a little bit of protein before bed. That's kind of a good snack if you are giving a snack. So it might be a bit of whole grain toast with a bit of nut butter if you're giving that, or a bit of hummus on, or even a little bit of chicken breast. It might be that you have those little oat cakes that you can get, and you can have that with hummus, or with maybe a bit of cream cheese, or a little bit of yogurt, or even a little small bowl of porridge or something like that. So nice whole grain, slow releasing carbs, and maybe a little bit of protein.
Something to try maybe just before bed, just to see if that will I mean, even if you go down to one bottle, it's,
Yes.
you know, it's just this one less wake up, isn't it? 'Cause
Exactly.
multiple wake ups, it's just,
yeah, and
especially at 14 months, you just think, I'm done now.
yeah. I mean, luckily it's getting a little bit darker now, isn't it? But another thing to watch out, obviously, in the summer is just blackout blinds in the bedroom. You know, even get all the cracks out from around, because when that sun starts coming up at 4, 5, 6, which it isn't so much now, but you know, that can also cause wake ups in the night, can't it, as well?
I'm totally with you on the night wake ups.
Yeah. I do remember them.
Over them.
Yeah.
I'm over them. Okay. So someone has a 2-year-old that's off food completely, refusing meals because they just want their milk.
Right.
So she'd like some tips for getting some goodness into her little one.
Gosh, that is a tricky one. So obviously that might be a situation where you might want to have a chat with your GP, because obviously that can't go on longer term. You know, obviously we need to get some more nutrients in. But you could start to look at kind of really slow, gradual changes. So I think the thing is like I said before, is to always keep offering food. So don't stop offering food just because your child only wants to drink milk. Don't stop offering food, if that makes sense. So, you know, and again, I know that's a tricky one, a lot of work, but you can't disempower them to not, you know, they might still want food. I think the thing is, I'd try and get your health visitor's support or your GP support, but what you need to do obviously is not, it's a difficult one. When your child won't eat, you want to get calories in, but just maybe start to gradually reduce the milk, so that you can then offer that alongside food as well. But obviously the child's got to have something in. You could start to add some goodness into the milk and try and make the milk thicker. So you could do things like adding in like a banana blended in the milk, so they're used to different tastes. You could put some berries or fruit blended into the milk. You could maybe try some nut butter blended in, so that it starts to get a bit thicker. Even frozen fruit blended up with a little bit of milk, so it's more like an ice cream consistency, and just trying to gradually change that consistency, if that makes sense as well. I hope that helps. It's a really tricky situation. It sounds like you need a little bit more professional support as well.
Okay, so some other questions are diet drinks really that bad?
That's a tricky one. Do you know, the whole sweetener debate, it's very tricky. And also even with the sugar tax, you know, a lot of the sugars that have been reduced are being replaced with sweeteners. So if you think about something like diet colas, they're still going to have quite a lot of caffeine in them. Some of them have more caffeine in a cup of coffee. So if you're drinking diet colas at night, bear that in mind, because it might keep you awake. And also, so there is some research to suggest that diet pop drinkers tend to be more overweight. So therefore, like, diet drinks don't always associate with.
Do you think that's the same for all diet foods? Because I'm of the mindset that I want the full fat, and I want full fat milk, full fat yogurt, full fat butter. Like I don't want the diet ones. And part of me thinks, should I be?
You should. So definitely for kids, they should have full fat milk, unless they are.
Kids' yogurts are skimmed milk. And I think, well, what's the point?
Well,
of that?
No, and you do lose some of the protein and some of the calcium actually when you take it all out. And it should all be, you know, we should have small amounts of the real thing. I think the problem is that we are a little bit in that habit of giving our kids food all the time. You know, we do kind of, don't we? Just keep giving them and giving them and giving them. And that's not necessarily the right thing. So we've got to watch how many calories they do give to our kids. But really, we should have, for most children, and that's, you know, there might be exceptions. There might be some children that just really put on weight very easily or become overweight for whatever reason. Then they might need semi-skimmed or skimmed. But that does help you feel fuller for longer, you know. And so the same with diet drinks. The problem with sweeteners is that also they do increase your, what we call food-seeking behaviour. So they make you more hungry.
Okay.
So not great.
So okay.
But I'm not saying go out there and drink full sugar Coca-Cola either, because you probably just want to avoid fizzy drinks, really, full stop, as much as you possibly can. And girls, want to say is, do you know that tonic has got lots of sugar in it? Because a lot of people don't realise that. So when we think we're drinking gin and tonic's got loads of sugar in it, almost as much as regular fizzy drinks. So sorry. But you know, I'm really shocked, like some of the little cans, it is really high in sugar. So I tend to use the Fever Tree, like Fever Tree Slimline, naturally slimline, because it's very flavoured with a bit of fruit sugar. It's still got quite a lot of sugar in it, but just use less, lots of ice, lots of lime, like fresh lime and mint leaves and things like that. So just watch out for tonic. So the kind of lowest sugar one, I guess, probably would be maybe even just like a little, if you're going to have like vodka and soda or something, or a little bit of red wine. If you're going to have a little bit of alcohol, some champagnes are lower in sugar, but generally, yeah, just watch out for those kind of mixes.
Or men might like
yes,
gin.
yes, they do. Sorry, I am being a little bit
Very
sexist.
yeah.
I am very sorry.
Okay. Why do we crave chocolate, and what's a good alternative? I love chocolate so much. I really love it.
I had a couple of squares of dark chocolate on the way here.
I made a crumble this afternoon, even though you were coming.
Did you put chocolate in it?
No, it was apple, but I still had to laugh that I was having a chat with a nutrition expert with my giant crumble.
Do you know, you've got the fruit in there?
Yes,
It's a good dessert to have.
Homegrown, not by us, but it was
amazing. You see, there are good desserts, and actually making something at home, you know what's going in there. There's no preservatives and things like that. So chocolate is high in sugar. It depends on what type of chocolate you have, but it's very high in sugar. It's quite high in stimulants as well, both of which are quite addictive. And the thing is with sugar, what you will find is that the more sugar you have, the more you will want fat. So I quite often get people to do a bit of a sugar detox, and I promise you,
I don't think I could.
Well,
I think my body would literally crash.
So the thing is that you couldn't just take the sugar out and then not replace it with something.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to demonize sugar, because a little bit of sugar is fine, but if you have a thing with chocolate and sugar, the best thing is to really, really reduce it for the first 5-7 days, and just take it a day at a time. So just for today, just say to yourself, just for today. But what you do need to do is make sure that you fill yourself up at your meals, because the thing is with chocolate, you know, if you're using it to keep yourself going because you're tired, and obviously a lot of parents do that because they're knackered, particularly if they're up at night, you know, some sugary stuff. But the more you have, the more you want. So if you just make sure that your meals have a good handful of protein with your meals, that's meat, fish, eggs, pulses, cottage cheese, you know, yogurt and stuff like that, nice whole grains and lots of vegetables, you'll find that you're nice and full.
But I think I'm a little bit conditioned to need chocolate after my dinner, like not so much lunch or breakfast, but dinner. I'm conditioned to just need a little bit of chocolate.
It does
just
stimulate some feel-good neurotransmitters and chemicals.
So what could I eat after dinner?
A couple of squares of dark chocolate
would be okay.
70% or above, eaten slowly. If you're a little bit sensitive to caffeine, just watch that at night, because it can keep you awake a little bit. But really good quality, 70% dark chocolate, like green and blacks, Montezumas, those kind of nice ones. Mint, something like that.
Chocolate is my absolute.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so go to Hotel Chocolate and get good quality chocolate, because there's a lot of goodness in chocolate. Iron, magnesium, manganese is really good. Yeah, so one of the things I used to recommend as a snack during pregnancy, and I ate a lot of chocolate covered pumpkin seeds during pregnancy, because they are high in dark chocolate and loads of iron. I can't get them anymore. I never used to make them myself. I used to live brand I used to get in Norwich, and I can't get them anymore, but some health food stores might have something like that.
I didn't need chocolate as much when pregnant. Yeah. I just went through like 2 melons a week, like
fresh and fruity. I do remember that. I do. Yeah. So I think, and also just one more tip is to not eat chocolate when you're hungry, and not to replace food with it. And if you do eat it, like, you know, often when we're really tired and we're kind of going around, we eat chocolate, we don't even realise that we've eaten it and it's not touching the sides, whereas actually just make it kind of a part of your day. Sit down and really enjoy it. Enjoy those two squares of dark chocolate, and you might find that that's enough, and then you properly are conscious that you've eaten it, rather than eating unconsciously, perhaps.
Okay, last one is about supplements for tiredness. Now I know you've got a Shattered Mums program that you're promoting at the moment. Are supplements a part of this program? Is there a supplement that will help with tiredness, or is it just kind of a whole package that you need to work on to kind of
so there's lots of things that will help with tiredness, and that's what I do on my Shattered Mum Recovery program. It's a group online program. I work with a nice community of mums, usually between 10 and 15 women, online, and talk about all the areas that you need to work on. And diet absolutely comes first. When I say diet, I mean how we eat, not going on a diet. So I teach people about how to eat well, but supplements can help, particularly if you have some deficiencies, you know. So if there's any where I might be concerned that someone might have a deficiency, I might get them to go and see their GP and get checked. Then you might need extra supplements, but there are some nice nutrients to look out for which might boost your energy levels. So things like B vitamins. B vitamins are energy producers, so a nice B complex. If you're still breastfeeding, you should be looking at a good multivitamin mineral for for postnatal. Even your antenatal one will be fine. The reason they're different is because you just got to watch the amount of vitamin A is the concern, but that's only really when you're during pregnancy. But you should still stay on the antenatal one when you're breastfeeding because it's got good levels of iron in, obviously, you know. So really,
that's
really
why I was always low on.
Yeah.
I always had low iron. Yeah. Low blood pressure, low iron. Just So I think a midwife recommended Floridix, which is
those nice tonics that you can get. Magnesium is also really good for energy support and very good for, you know, sometimes you feel like you feel a bit wired and tired, so you're tired but you're a bit buzzy. So magnesium's a nice calmer, good if you can't sleep. And actually I use a company called Better You, and they do these magnesium flakes which you can put in your children's bath as well. So a bit like Epsom salts, but they're higher in magnesium and great for getting the kids to sleep as well. And they've started doing some really nice magnesium.
You definitely need to send the Mumblers a link to this.
Yeah, I will send that.
Definitely.
I will. And also Better You, that company, do those. They do a junior bedtime lotion which has got magnesium in it as well, so you can use that as part of bedtime routine to massage onto babies. And there's a parents, an adult one as well, so also really nice.
I never have problem going to sleep.
Which is when you're little, wakes you up.
Staying asleep is the problem.
It will get better.
I promise. It's just really slowly.
Okay.
Well, do you want to say anything more about your Shattered Mums program?
Yeah, I mean, it starts next week, and it's an online course. You can find out more information on my website, which is thefamilynutritionexpert.com.
Shall I write that in the comments?
Yeah, that would be great. Or have a look on my Facebook page as well. If you just Google me, and you can connect to my Facebook page. Yes, and it's really great. The second one.
Hold on, we didn't scroll down.
Oh, look.
So 2-year-old refuses to eat any meal that I cook, apart from the rice, peas, and carrots. But she just won't eat meat or pasta.
Yeah, a lot of 2-year-olds don't really want to have meat because they're quite they don't like to chew so much.
My 4-year-old has started doing that, saying she doesn't like chicken. Chicken is like the most inoffensive of the meats, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, there might just be a phase that your 4-year-old's going through, and you probably find they'll come back to it. But you know, actually, just making meats nice and slow cooked as well, and just hiding. What I often do with meatballs, so I blend in some beans and pulses into mince, like I kind of blend it up a little bit, and that makes meatballs really soft and so they don't feel quite so meaty. So
I started grating courgette like really fine into it, because my 4-year-old had started picking up on the fact that I was putting veg in sauces, but she was fine about it in meatballs, so she would happily, because she likes the meatball. But she was starting to get fussy about the green green things. So even my 1.5-year-old, she's 20 months, even she has started, you know, you can get that pasta that's different colours, the green and orange and white. She started not eating the green pasta even though it's exactly the same.
Seems to be something
green association.
It is, and there's a brilliant book called by Charlie and Lola book called I Will Not Ever Eat a Tomato Ever, and it's about how you reterm kind of things for your kids. So like you said, you've got fruits of your trees and things like that. It's really good. It's a nice book to read as well. So that's a really nice one. And I think just keep persevering. You know, the lady that said that her child won't eat anything. I know it's hard, you know, but I think just keep persevering and obviously get some help from your health visitor. I think just obviously hiding things as well is really good. But think about
is hiding things okay?
Yes,
I hide a lot of veg.
I know.
But I do give them the whole veg kind of as a token.
I think don't just hide everything, but also, you know, if they won't accept the veg on their plate, just put it on a side plate and just see if you can get them to pick a little bit. Ask them when you go to the supermarket what they would like to try. That's also a good thing. If your child won't eat meat, look at other protein sources. So obviously you've got fish, but also chickpeas, beans and pulses, so you can make like little chickpea burgers and make them bite-sized so they feel in control and can pick them up as well.
I've got a chickpea burgers.
Yeah, really cheap as well. Yeah.
Lentil type stuff.
Yeah, blend in some frozen peas and sweet corn and things like that. Yeah, so really cheap and easy to do.
I think we need to do like a veg ninja post. Like I need to look at what are all the things that we could
happily do
ninja some veg in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think that's everyone. Sorry, someone else asked about any tips on how to stop eating chocolate when you do sugar hit. So I think we've kind of covered the chocolate bit.
I hope so. Yeah, and getting that protein in when you're hungry, and then a little bit of chocolate afterwards.
And I put the first link I put to Family Nutrition Expert website didn't work, but the second one I have.
Yeah, great.
So it should be fine. So if you want to know more about, I didn't put the HTTP. you want to know more, then head to the Family Nutrition Expert Catherine's page on Facebook, or go to the website. So I think that we'll stop there. I didn't realise we'd been on for half an hour.
I know, it
gone so
flies, isn't
quickly.
it? Yeah, it's been great.
It's all quiet upstairs, so maybe Mr. Mumbler managed to quiet the
Well done, Mr. Mumbler.
Well done. Okay.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out, because I'll be doing a Facebook Live with the infant feeding team at the NN, talking all about breastfeeding, bottle feeding, basically infant feeding, and also for the one with Jo at Baby Led Kitchen, you can actually go and download her app on the App Store now, which is, I think that's so cool. She's got an app.
I bet she'll have loads of ideas for you as well.
Oh, a bit, yes.
Yes, so she'll have lots of very
excellent
practical ideas that you can ask, and maybe pick up on some of the questions that they...
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Catherine. It was lovely
really
to meet you.
nice
I'm glad
to
you
see
found the
you.
house eventually.
Yeah, sorry, I was just so lost. Couldn't see your house number.
Okay, well, good night, everybody, and I'll see you
Nice to
soon.
see you.
Bye.